They were seeing kids who, whilst at school at least, were reaping the benefits of a happy and safe learning environment. The experience made a real impression.
I think it's been a fascinating trip, and I think the key thing I've learned is it affects many, many people, and disproportionately a number of young people. And I think we saw yesterday, went to a clinic, and the resilience of some people who had HIV, how they dealt with it and how they dealt with their friends and fellow citizens was amazing. So it's been a real eye-opener for me.
I think it's really well named, City of Hope, and we've just met a girl who's living here who's HIV positive. She's going to a local school, she's head girl in her school, and she's doing really, really well. So, there are things that we can do for these kids, and they've got a lot to give.
You sit behind a desk in Manchester and you read about it and can read the statistics and you think about it, and it doesn't really hit home. It's only when you come out here to see how it impacts lives, young children, a lot of them orphaned, how it impacts the nurses and everyone involved, and that's when it really hits home. And I think, there's a case of being sort of so far away, it doesn't sort of really resonate, I suppose. We went to a project this morning, and the sports field there was a dirt pitch, but the skill of those players playing in bare feet with hard balls. If Alex ever asks me about the pitch again at Old Trafford, I will refer him to the film you've taken of those pitches. That struck me on every place we visited, the actual sheer sort of enjoyment and positive attitude of everyone running it, and all the children involved, the dancing. I mean, you saw me dance, hope you got it on tape, but it was pretty good, I thought. But no, seriously, and that's what you've got. There's a positive attitude of everyone, and what they're doing here is fantastic. And I think the whole manners of the children, the queuing and their smiling attitude and their dancing and what they bring is, I think, a really powerful message. For me, it's been a real eye-opener to see, you come over and you see people, you've gone through various projects, and to see people who are in very difficult circumstances have a fantastically positive attitude, invariably a smile on their face, invariably, they all wave at you, go past, and I think it's great. So whilst there's difficult times back home, you think, well, these children, they've got it much, much more difficult than a lot of us back home, and I think that's the thing, you've got to be positive, and I think the other thing is we can make a difference, we can assist, and a little money and a little bit of input and services or books or whatever goes a long way in this particular country. So I'm very encouraged by what I've seen and how it will affect us going forward.
There are lots of things that we can do and are doing, and with the support of organisations and companies like Man United, we'll be able to do so much more for these children. So it's difficult, but there's kind of rays of sunshine out there, and when you see the kids and you're with them, you just know that it's really worthwhile doing.
The City of Hope School in Lusaka, Zambia, has benefited from the support of UNICEF and its partners. Manchester United are key players in helping this support continue with their long-term commitment to the Unite for Children, Unite Against AIDS campaign. We've seen just one example of how the support is getting to the children and organisations who need it. But the AIDS and HIV pandemic that is devastating children's lives is a global issue and a long-term fight. Battles are being won, but continued support and fundraising is key to winning the war. Like the children at the City of Hope in Lusaka, hope is slowly but surely being restored. And some kids, at least, can now look positively to the future.
It's some kind of hope. There is hope that people are thinking of us. We are not alone in these problems that we are in. There are people who are always thinking about us. It's very important that people should see that out there are people who are suffering. Either they've been infected or affected directly, and people should know about this. And don't also think that people should also think that this is what is happening there. Maybe we can also try to live better, because others are suffering. We are not in that situation, but there are people who are suffering much more than them.
Come along and help us. Come along, come along, come along and help us.